Hey guys, welcome back for our SD-WAN lab. In the previous section we added BGP and that was for site 33 and 44. And if we go back to our topology, at this time we have completed the BGP configuration for all the WAN edges. As you can see, we have sites with a single WAN edge and sites with two WAN edges. Basically, for sites with one edge, we have two interfaces. One interface is connected to the internet and the other interface is connected to the MPLS. For sites with two V edges, the internet transport is connected to V edge 1 and the MPLS transport is connected to V edge 2. This is already good in terms of dual connectivity because all sites now can talk over the internet and also over the MPLS transport. However, the way Cisco wants this to be done for sites that have two equipments, Cisco wants that when you have two WAN edges, one V edges at a site, you need to make sure that each V edge can talk over both transports. So what does it mean? If we take a look at the site, V edge 1 is connected to the internet but not to the MPLS, which means if we go to, okay, let me work based on, okay, let me pull that. Let me bring that equipment and the other equipment. So this is V edge 1 at site 222 and V edge 2. Let's look at V edge 1. If we go, we do show running config VPN 0. We can see that one V edge 1 has only one interface, and this interface is connected to the internet transport. We can see that the color of the transport is internet. And if we go to the V edge 2 at the same site, show running config VPN 0, we can see that for this site there is one interface, it's connected to the MPLS and the color is MPLS. So which means if we go back to our topology, at this time, if the internet connection is down, this router will be isolated. On the other side, if the MPLS connection is down, this router will be isolated. So Cisco, the way Cisco designs Cisco recommendations or best practices want that we add TLOC extensions on both routers. TLOCs are just a way to extend one transport over the other. Okay, so let me delete. So on V edge 1, the internet is the main or the primary transport. So the TLOC extension is going to allow V edge 1 to connect via MPLS as a secondary transport, and vice versa. We can have another TLOC that's going to allow the MPLS router to connect via the internet transport, and that's going to bring resilience in our network, which means if the internet connection is down, this V edge 1 will be able to keep will be up and running through the MPLS transport, and if the VH2 is VH2 MPLS connection is down, it can still be connected via the internet transport. So before going into the details of how to add the TLOC extension, let's go back to a couple of terms of the SD-WAN data plane. So if we go back to the SD-WAN technical terms about the data plane, we can see that the TLOCs are linked with the transports. So which means if you have two transports connected to one edge, that means you're going to have two TLOCs. And the TLOCs are simply the word TLOC, I mean, the TLOC is just a combination of three elements. Those are the system IP plus the color plus the encapsulation. So which means if you have MPLS and internet, you're going to have two TLOCs. One TLOC for MPLS and the other TLOC for the internet. And that can be also seen with more, I mean, it's going to be easy if we do like show IP route. If we take a look at the routes coming from site 11, these routes, these are the components we're talking about. We have the TLOC IP. The TLOC IP is the system IP of the V edge, okay, where the routes are coming from. And seeing that these routes are coming from site 11, so this TLOC IP is the TLOC IP of V edge 11. We have the color and we have the encapsulation. We can see that this is the same prefix, okay? One prefix is coming from MPLS. We have two prefixes coming from MPLS. Sorry, it's not the same. We have the 1110 and 1120. So let me focus on 1110. For 1110, we have one prefix coming through the MPLS transport, and the same prefix is also coming from the biz internet. Okay, to recap, the same prefix 172.11.10.0 coming from site 11 is coming over two transports, the MPLS transport and the biz internet. So that's how you can see how a route is being learned and which transport is bringing that route into the V edge. And if we go back to this template, okay, so TLOCs are associated with the transport, and if you have they are related to the number of transports that we have. IPsec tunnels, which are the data plane tunnels, are related also to the TLOC, but we're going to talk about this in details when we move along. When we move to the next topics which are more related to this. The other thing that I tried to draw is this. So this is how the TLOC extensions are going to be set up. On one edge 1, which is connected to the internet, the main transport, of course, on GE00 is connected to the internet. On one edge 2, the main transport on GE00 is connected to MPLS. So this is the MPLS router and this is the internet router. And we're going to add one link here, which is going to be the GE03. You have two options. You can use physical two links, okay, then you're not going to need to use the 802.1q, okay, but in my case I'm going to use one connection, so I'm going to have to use VLANs, sub interfaces. So which means for the connection for the internet, in order to extend the internet to the MPLS router, I'm going to create a TLOC tunnel. Okay, this is a tunnel. It's going to be an internet tunnel on the MPLS router, and it's going to be routed via router 1, via VH1. So on this side it's going to be the tunnel internet, and on this side it's going to be the TLOC map. We're going to see that. On the opposite side, it's going to be the kind of the same. We're going to have the MPLS tunnel on the VH1. Okay, it's going to be an MPLS tunnel, and on this side we're going to have the MPLS TLOC map. So that's way, vice versa, the MPLS transport is going to be extended to VH1, and the internet transport is going to be extended to VH2. So before we can now start with our templates. We go to vManage, configuration, templates, and in order to do this we're going to need 3 templates. I already built the templates. We're just going to go over the components of those templates. So I think it's gonna be with TLOC. Yeah, these are the 3 templates. So for the first one, the TLOC placeholder, this is not required if you're going to use 2 physical links. Okay, if, let me say this, if you're using physical links between the 2 routers, the internet router and the MPLS router, you're going to kind of extend the transport like this, then you don't need a placeholder. Okay, because what's going to happen is that you're going to, let's say this is going to be the map side. Okay, let's say this is the internet, this is going to be the map, and this is going to be the tunnel. The tunnel is going to be on the side where you extending the transport. So this is going to be the internet tunnel, and you can use the other interface. This is going to be the map. Okay, and this is going to be the MPLS tunnel. So to bring more details, that means this is GE00. The map is just like you saying, okay, this interface here is going to map wherever is on GE00. The same here, GE00 is going to be mapped on this interface. So it's like an to extend. And this is the MPLS router. So the MPLS tunnel, that's going to be, no, this is going to be the, yes, the MPLS tunnel. So basically, which means this is the internet router. It's going to have now 2 tunnels. One internet tunnel, okay, the main on the main transport, and one MPLS tunnel which is going via the MPLS router. It's going to be the same. This router is now going to have 2 transport, one MPLS tunnel on the main interface, on the main transport, and one internet tunnel which is going to be going via the internet. So if you using physical interfaces, you don't need this. But seeing that I'm not using, I'm going to use 802.1q. This is what's going to happen. Router 1 is the internet router. Okay, internet. Router 2 is the MPLS router. Okay, so I'm using one single interface. Seeing that I'm using one single interface, so The GE00 on both sides are connected to the primary transport. And seeing that I'm using a sub interface, which is the G03. On both routers, I'm going to, it's just the way when you're configuring the 802.1q on a regular Cisco router, you always go like GE03, you no shut the interface, and then you go GE03.10, GE03.100. So a placeholder is like just to say, okay, I want to use this interface. That's kind of what it means. You no shut the interface. That's where you can. Then the other templates are going to be to create the sub interfaces. So GE03 is going to be our physical interface, and we're going to create the sub interfaces. So let's look at the placeholder template. So this is a pretty simple template. You give it a name, a description, the state shutdown, you say no, you name, you specify the name of the interface, of the physical interface, you put a description, okay, and then that's all. Okay, you don't need an IP address on it. That's gonna be all. It's not going to be a tunnel interface, no NAT, nothing else. Everything is good. So we can say update. So I don't need to update anything, but that was just a way to get out of it. TLOC. The second template you're going to need is the map. So if I bring this, the map is going to be the, let me do this. So in this topology, we're going to use the .10 to extend MPLS, okay? So which means on this side, the .10 is going to be the map, okay? Map, because we're going to, it's a way to say, okay, .10 on router 2 need to map GE00, and .100 is going to be the extension of the internet. So which means the .10 on this side is going to be the map for the internet transport. Okay, let's go back and check what's on the TLOC map template. So for this template, the structure is going to be the same. You start with the name of the template. You give it a description. Shutdown is going to be no. The interface name, you need to be, it's going to be device specific, and add something that's going to specify that it's for the TLOC map, okay? Because it's gonna be kind of the same with the TLOC tunnel template. So you need to be specific. TLOC map, description, make sure you also specify that it's for the TLOC map. IPv4 address on the interface, make sure you add TLOC map. And tunnel, this is the map side, so there is no tunnel, okay? Tunnel interface is turned off, no NAT. I think the other thing that I did, I just decreased the IP meter size, okay? And PM meter discovery, we can turn it on, okay? Let's turn it on. And I think that's gonna be all. No, that's not all. A very important thing is the TLOC extension. Okay, the map side is where you're going to have the TLOC extension command, because you're saying, okay, extend the parameters, or this is an extension of the main transport. Okay, that's what it means, and we're going to see how this command look like. And we're going to say map GE00. That's what we're going to say. TLOC extension related to GE00. And that's going to be all for the map template. Now let's look at the tunnel template. It's gonna be TLOC. And before talking about that, let's go back here. I'm gonna delete this. The tunnel is going to be on the side, on the other side. So for MPLS, okay, the map is on this side and the tunnel is going to be on this side. So this is going to be the MPLS tunnel on the internet route. That's going to add another tunnel on this route, because the tunnel which is here is an internet tunnel. So adding an MPLS tunnel is going to give access to both transport. The main transport, the main interface is going to be going to the internet. It is an internet tunnel, and the tunnel which we're going to create now is an MPLS tunnel. So this is going to be the .10 on the router one side. The here it was supposed to be 100. The .100 on the MPLS side is going to be the internet tunnel. Okay, and that's going to add another tunnel, because the primary tunnel at this time is MPLS, and we're going to add an internet tunnel. So you can see, just like we're crossing things over, but you just need to pay attention, and the logic is going to be quite it might be confusing when you start building this, but as you do it more often, you're going to get you're going to familiarize with it. So the tunnel template, if we look at it, it's the basic elements are the same. We start with giving a name, a description. Shutdown is going to be no. Interface name, make sure that you add tunnel. Okay, that's where you can easily remember that it's for the tunnel. TLOC tunnel for the description. IPv4 address, TLOC tunnel. And here we need the tunnel on, okay, because this is the tunnel side. The color is going to be device specific, and we say it's this color is for the TLOC. Restrict for this time, at this time it's off. It's off, that's why MPLS tunnels can create tunnels with MPLS sides can create tunnels with internet sides. So at this time, if when we're going to move forward, we're going to test with the restrict command what's going to happen, but for at this time we're going to keep it off. Again, here I think the other stuff, the other thing that you might need to check, okay, the tunnel is on, the color is device specific. We don't need any BGP here, but I think you need to make sure that you have an encapsulation, and the encapsulation we are using is IPsec. And I think on the advanced options we have the MITU size at 1496. That's gonna be all for for the templates. Now let's go and add them on both sides. We're going to start with router 1, which is the internet router. Let's go edit. Now we're going to edit the device templates to add the feature templates. So this is part of the transport VPN, so we're going to add it here. Interface, the first one is going to be the placeholder interface. The second one is going to be the map. It can go vice versa, but and the third one is going to be the tunnel. Update. So if we go back to router 1, as we checked, there is only one interface and that's all. So let's go back and add the device specific values. So what we need to add, the TLOC tunnel, okay, interface name. So we are on the internet side, so the TLOC tunnel interface is the MPLS, okay, so which means it is on .10, okay, so it's going to be GE03.10, okay. So let's go back. GE03.10. The tunnel description is going to be MPLS because we are on the internet side. The IPv4 address, this is for site 255, so it's going to be 10.255.01. The color, because we are on the internet side, we are adding an MPLS color. The TLOC map name is going to be the GE0300, okay, because this is the map. We are mapping the internet to go to the MPLS side. So TLOC extension, and the IPv4 address on this is going to be 100.255.01, and the TLOC extension is the interface, the main interface. Just if we come back here, we are extending this, so we're taking this, the GE00, it is what we're going to extend. So that's all, and the other details we don't need to look at those. So I'm gonna be faster now. The TLOC name, it's going to be GE03, GE0310. Description, TLOC MPLS. The IP address, this is for site 111, so it's going to be 10.111.01. It's going to be for MPLS. TLOC map name, it's going to be for 0300. Description, TLOC map. IPv4 address, it's for 100.11.01, and for GE00. Update. For the third site, the same, GE0310. This is the tunnel for MPLS. This is for site 222, so the IP address on this side is 10.222.01. For MPLS, the TLOC map interface is 03.100. Description, TLOC map. IPv4 address, it is 100.222.01, and for GE00. The fourth site, TLOC tunnel is going to be for GE031, GE0310. The description is for MPLS. The IPv4 address, this is for site 155, so it's gonna be 10.155.01. MPLS. The TLOC map interface is GE0310. Description, TLOC map. The IPv4 address is for 155, so it's gonna be 100.155, and the extension of G00. Update. Next. So if we look at the config that we're going to add, just kind of to preview and have an idea of what we're adding. we're going to config diff, okay, and here we can see that we're adding this interface GE03 placeholder, and then GE03 GE0310 is going to be the MPLS tunnel, and the GE0300 is going to be the internet TLOC extension. And you can see that this command is really crucial. If you miss this command, nothing is going to work, because this command is saying, okay, interface GE03, let me bring this back up. Basically we are right here, so we're saying interface, let me give an example, because we on the internet side, we're saying GE03.100, okay, is an extension of GE00, which is connected to the internet, okay, because the main interface on this router is connected to the internet. So basically that's what this command is saying. So let's go back and apply the changes. And if we go back, show BFD sessions. Okay, let me add the word tab. We see the number of BFD sessions we're having at this time, and if we do show IP route, the number of routes is not going to change, but I think the number of BFD sessions will change. And show OMP TLOC paths. These are the paths that we're having. So let's go back to vmanage and see the config is being applied. I think it's gonna be successful, but let's go back to our edge 1 and do show run VPN 0. We can see that the config has been applied. We now have the GE03 as a placeholder, the GE0310, the TLOC tunnel MPLS, and this command. Okay, so basically there is another template which is already running. It is, I'm gonna delete this because, okay, I'm gonna keep this for the time being. But if we come back here, you see this is the IP address. I already have the IPv4 route. Okay, so this is something really important, but I'm gonna come back to it. Let's check the BFD tunnels, BFD session, sorry. Okay, at this time we are not seeing any changes in terms of the BFD sessions. Okay, let's go back to the MPLS router and see how many BFD sessions we have. Show BFD sessions tab, we have about 20. Okay, so now let's go, the second step is to add the same template on the MPLS router, because we did on the internet router. We're now going to add on the MPLS router. So we need to add that on this feature template, on this device template, which is applied to the MPLS routers. So we're going to edit, and it's going to be the same on the transport VPN. We're going to add the first, the placeholder, the second TLOC map. There is no order of adding these templates, just like you can add in whichever order you want, but you need to know when you're going to add the device specific items, you need to know what you're adding. Update. That's why when you're creating the template, you need to give some details on the device specific variables. That's where you don't get lost. Okay, so for the first device, it's for site 155, TLOC tunnel. So on this side, the tunnel is now on GE0 300. Okay, because if we go back here, we extending the internet, and the sub-interface of the internet we're using .100, and the tunnel is now on the MPLS router. So we're going to create an internet tunnel on the MPLS router. So let's go back, and tunnel description is going to be the tunnel internet. The IPv4 address is for signed to 155, so it's going to be 100.155. Oh, it's for 255. Sorry, let me double check. Looks like this is wrong. If this is for 255, 155, sorry, this is for 155. Yeah, so this one is not right. Just correcting this while we're moving, and it is not related to what we're doing, but yeah. Okay, so the IPv4 address on this is going to be 100.155.02. The tunnel is going to be for base internet because we on the MPLS router. The TLOC map interface is going to be G0310. Okay, and the description TLOC map, the IPv4 address is going to be 10.155.02. TLOC extension, we're extending for G00. We're gonna do the same on this other device. 03100. TLOC description is for tunnel internet. The IPv4 address, we are at site 222, so it's going to be 100.222.02. We're creating a base internet tunnel, and the TLOC if name is going to be GE0310. Description TLOC extension map. IPv4 address is going to be for 10.222. Oh, sorry, 10. It's going to be for 10.222.02, and we're extending for GE00. The same for the third device. We're going to add the interface name is going to be GE0310, sorry, 100. Description tunnel internet. IPv4 address, this is for site 11, so it's going to be 100.11.02. The color base internet. The TLOC map interface name is going to be GE03.10. Description TLOC map, and the IPv4 address on this one is on this side is going to be 10.1102, and the extension is for GE00. For the fourth device, we're going to add for GE03100 description tunnel internet IPv4 address. This is for site 255, so it's gonna be 100.255.02. The color is for base internet. The TLOC map interface name is GE03.10. Description tunnel extension. The IPv4 address on this side is going to be 10.255.02, and we're extending for GE00. So that's added. We're not going to do the preview anymore. We know what's going to be added. It's basically the same, but now we expect some changes in terms of the number of BFD sessions, because what happened with this, let me delete this, is that when a router has many types of transport, it's going to try to build as many BFD sessions as it can on both transport. Okay, so it's going to create BFD sessions on each transport. So right now these BFD sessions, sorry, are built based on the actual transport, the internet transport. So when the MPLS transport is going to be, sorry, this is the MPLS router. So these tunnels are built based on the MPLS transport. And when the internet transport is going to be added, we're going to see an increase in the number of BFD sessions. So let's go back to vManage and see if the template is being yeah, it's successful on one of the devices, so we expect it to be successful everywhere. So there is something that I really wanted to I wanted to remove that static route. So let's go back to the static route I was talking about. So it is a very strict rule. If you don't have an IPv4 route for a transport, okay, the transport is not going to work. Okay, at this time this was already added on a previous testing, so the transport, the extensions that we are adding are going to work because the IPv4 route was already added. So if there was no IPv4 route for these TLOC extensions, nothing was going to work. Okay, so just to let you know where you need to add this, you need to add this on the VPN template. So you need to go on the VPN template and add this. Okay, for this I'm gonna do the reverse. I will remove the static route and see what's going to happen when we're going to remove it, and I'm gonna add it back, a way to test if our TLOC extensions are doing something. So let's go back and see the number of BFD sessions. So I'm gonna recall the same command. Nothing has. Move on. Let's move on. And if we check again on MPLS router, okay, and see that the number of channels, it looks like a double. Oh, okay, so we can see that we have some tunnels that just came up. 3 has been for 3 minutes. A lot of them just came up, okay, and they are all up. Okay, so this is what we expect. And if we go to the internet router, so the VH1, let's check. On the internet router, it's kind of the same. We have some tunnels that came up like 4 minutes ago. Okay, 1. This also just came up. Okay, this also just came up. So which means the tunnels have been created and everything is working as expected. But I was saying that if the default route is missing, that can cause issues. So let's go back and test that. Let's go to configuration, templates. I'm gonna delete this, and feature template. And that's going to be on the VPN, not the interface template, but the VPN template. So I'm gonna do this HQ to find it, to pipe, and I think it's on this one, VPN 0. Yeah, this one. So I'm going to edit this template. Okay, so let's check again what we're looking for. On edge 1, we are going to remove the default route going to the MPLS route. Okay, and on edge 2, we are going to remove the default route, this default route going to the internet route. Let's go back here, and it's really slow. As you can see, everything is running slow. Okay, it's back up. It's running slow. I think I'm gonna have to fix this as soon as I'm done with you guys. And let me check. So basically what we need to update is you can see that we have two routes, and these routes are optional. Okay, we're going to I think we don't need really to do that here, but I'm running a really low in terms of my, looks like my okay, looks like I was running low in battery. I had to plug it in. I had to plug my PC really quick. Okay, so we don't need to do anything here. So let's go back and cancel here. We go to device templates. And we're going just to edit the device specifics, the device variables. And we're going to do that on the MPLS router. Okay, I think I'm running really slow. I'm gonna stop this session, and when we come back for the next session, I'm going to start with a test of what's going to happen if you remove the default the default route on a transport, on a TLOC transport. We will stop here, and I will see you in the next. Thank you.